Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. I'm so happy to see you here again. Today, we're going to talk about something really important: how native English speakers actually think during conversations. You know, sometimes it feels like they talk so fast or change topics quickly, right? But don't worry, in this video, I'll show you 4 simple steps to understand how their minds work when they speak. Once you learn these steps, English conversations will finally make sense to you. So stay with me till the end, because this will totally change the way you listen and understand English. Imagine you are in a coffee shop. You're listening to 2 native English speakers talking. They're smiling, laughing, and the words seem to fly so fast. You catch some words but miss many others. You understand the topic a little, but the small details and quick changes in the conversation confuse you. You think, how do they understand each other so easily? What's going on inside their minds when they speak? That's exactly what we're going to explore in this video. How native speakers really think during conversations, and how you can understand them better step by step. When most English learners listen to native speakers, they focus only on words. But here's the truth. Native speakers don't think word by word. Their brains work in ideas and small groups of meaning. They don't stop to translate or think about grammar rules. They simply connect ideas quickly. So, if you try to understand every single word, you'll always feel behind. The secret is to think more like them. In ideas, not words. Let's take a simple example. Imagine your friend says, "Hey, what have you been up to?" If you listen word by word, this sentence is confusing. "What have you been up to?" doesn't translate clearly into many languages. But if you understand the idea, it just means, "How are you?" Or, "What are you doing these days?" So instead of thinking of each word, you understand the meaning behind it. That's how native speakers process language. Fast and naturally. When they hear someone talk, they don't stop to analyze grammar. Their brains focus on patterns they already know. For example, they've heard "What have you been up to?" thousands of times since childhood. So it sounds familiar and automatic. You can train your brain to do the same. You just need to learn how to notice these patterns instead of individual words. Now let's look at another quick example. Imagine this short dialogue. A: "Hey, you want to grab lunch later?" B: "Yeah, sounds good. What time?" A: "Maybe around 1?" B: "Perfect. See you then." This is a super simple, common exchange, but learners often try to translate it word by word and get lost. Native speakers, however, process this whole conversation as a single flow. Their brain hears "grab lunch later" and instantly understands. It means eat lunch together later. They don't stop to think about grab or later. It's one unit of meaning. So if you want to understand conversations like natives do, you need to train your ears and mind to recognize these small meaning groups. We can call them chunks. Chunks are small phrases that carry one idea, like "sounds good," "see you then," or "you know what I mean." You don't have to break them into grammar parts. You just need to know what they mean as a whole. This is the first step to understanding how native speakers think. They listen in chunks, not words. Let's test this idea with a simple exercise. I'll say a few common phrases. Try to catch the meaning, not the exact words. Ready? Catch you later. No worries. Long time no see. Kind of tired today. You probably understood most of them without translation, right? Because your brain is learning to connect sound and meaning directly. That's exactly what native speakers do. They don't translate English into another language. They connect English sounds directly with ideas. Now let's go deeper into what happens in their minds during real conversations. When native speakers talk, they usually don't plan every sentence. Their mind works like a fast train. One thought leads to another. For example, if someone says, "I saw Emma yesterday," The listener's brain doesn't just hear the words. It quickly connects them with memory. Who Emma is, what happened before, and what might come next. This background knowledge helps them guess meaning, even before the next words come out. That's why sometimes you feel like natives understand, even unfinished sentences. If one says, "I was thinking maybe we could," and stops, the listener already knows it's probably going to be something like, "go out, watch a movie," or "get dinner." They predict meaning before the full sentence appears. You can learn this skill too. When you listen to English, try to guess what's coming next. Even if you're wrong, your brain will slowly start to think in English patterns. Another important thing to notice is how native speakers focus on the main idea, not every detail. For example, if someone says, "I didn't really enjoy the movie last night," the key idea is, "didn't enjoy the movie." The extra words "really" and "last night" just add detail. When learners try to focus on every single word, they lose the main message. But when you train your ears to catch only the main idea first, your brain feels less tired and more confident. Let's look at a real situation. Imagine you're watching a movie scene. Two friends are talking quickly. "Man, that new restaurant was insane." B. "Really? What did you get?" A. "Some kind of spicy noodles, I think." "Burned my mouth off." B. "Haha, sounds brutal." Now this short chat has fast and casual expressions. Insane doesn't mean crazy here. It means amazing. Burned my mouth off is not serious. It just means the food was too spicy. Sounds brutal means that sounds intense or painful. You see, native speakers use emotional or exaggerated words to show feeling, not exact meaning. They think in emotion and reaction, not dictionary definitions. So if you try to translate "burned my mouth off," you'll get lost. But if you listen for the emotion, you'll understand perfectly. The speaker is just saying, "Wow, that was really spicy." So the second step to thinking like a native speaker is this. Stop translating and start feeling the message. Notice the emotion, tone, and reaction more than the words themselves. Native speakers use tone and rhythm as part of meaning. Listen to how they say things, not just what they say. For example, "really" can sound surprised, happy, or doubtful depending on tone. Try saying it in different ways. "Really?" Surprised. "Really?" Bored. "Really?" Doubtful. The same word can mean many things just through sound. When you pay attention to tone, you understand much more. Let's take another simple example. Imagine someone says, "You're late again." The words are easy, but the feeling depends on tone. If said softly, it could mean a joke. If said sharply, it might mean anger. So when native speakers talk, they don't only listen to words. They listen to emotion, sound, and context together. You can practice this by watching short English clips without subtitles. Don't try to understand every word. Instead, focus on how people sound. Are they excited, tired, serious, or joking? This is how your brain starts to think like a native speaker. Through emotion and rhythm, not translation. Now let's talk about another key part of how native speakers think. They always focus on connection, not perfection. In conversation, their goal is not to speak correct English, but to connect quickly and clearly. They use shortcuts, slang, and relaxed pronunciation to sound natural and friendly. That's why you often hear things like "gonna," "wanna," "gotta," or "kinda." These are not mistakes. They're just faster ways to speak. For example, "I'm going to eat" becomes "I'm gonna eat." "Do you want to come?" becomes "Do you want to come?" When learners hear this, it sounds fast and confusing. But natives don't even notice it. It's automatic. So if you want to understand them, train your ears to hear these reduced forms. Try saying them yourself slowly at first. "I'm gonna go. You wanna try?" I gotta leave. These small changes make your listening skills much stronger. Here's a short dialogue again. A. Hey, you wanna hang out later? B. Can't. Gotta study for the test. A. Ah, okay. Maybe tomorrow then? B. Yeah, sure. If you listen carefully, you'll hear how relaxed and short these phrases sound. Wanna, gotta, maybe tomorrow then. All sound like quick pieces of sound, not clear textbook words. This is real spoken English. Natives don't think in full grammar. They think in flow. So the third step to understanding how they think is to focus on rhythm and sound connection. Words in English connect together when people speak. What are you doing? Becomes, what you doing? Did you eat yet? Becomes, jeet yet? I don't know. Becomes, I don't know. At first, this sounds strange, but once you get used to it, your brain will start to hear the natural flow. Try repeating small conversations aloud. Don't worry about grammar. Focus on how it sounds. For example, hey, what you up to? Not much. Just chillin'. Cool, me too. Say it naturally. The more you practice sound flow, the easier it becomes to understand real English. Another thing to remember is that native speakers often don't finish their sentences, but the listener still understands. For example, someone might say, if you want to go later, and stop. The other person knows what they mean. Maybe, we can go after work. This happens because both speakers share background knowledge. So, to understand conversations, you must use your own world knowledge and guess meaning from context. If you hear someone say, it's kinda late, huh? You can guess they mean maybe it's time to go home. If someone says, it's getting cold, they might be suggesting to close the window. You don't need every word. You just need to understand the situation. Context gives meaning. When you start to focus on context, tone, and ideas instead of single words, English will suddenly feel easier. You'll start to follow movies, YouTube videos, or real people without subtitles. You'll notice your brain predicting what's next. That's how natives think. They don't listen to every sound. They understand the whole message as one picture. Let's do a short practice. I'll describe a situation, and you try to imagine what the person might be saying. You're at a restaurant, and the waiter asks, how's everything? What does that mean? It simply means, is your food okay? Or, do you like it? Another example, someone says, you good? That's not a full sentence, but it means, are you okay? Or, do you need help? See? You didn't need perfect grammar to understand. You understood the meaning because of situation and tone. That's exactly how native speakers think all the time. So let's quickly review what we've learned so far. Native speakers don't think in single words. They think in chunks or small groups of meaning. They don't translate. They connect sound directly to meaning. They don't listen for grammar. They listen for emotion, tone, and context. And they don't care about perfect words. They care about clear connection. In the next part of this lesson, we'll go even deeper. You'll learn how to train your brain step by step to think in English automatically, just like native speakers. You'll also learn how to practice these skills daily with simple activities that take only a few minutes. But for now, remember this. English is not just about words and grammar. It's about understanding how people think, feel, and connect. Once you start to see it this way, everything becomes easier, faster, and more natural. Take a deep breath, relax, and let English come to you as ideas, not as translations. You don't need to understand every sound. You just need to feel the meaning. That's the first real step toward thinking like a native speaker. So now that you understand how native speakers think in conversations, let's talk about how you can train your own brain to do the same. In part 1, we talked about how natives don't think word by word, how they focus on ideas, emotions, and flow. But how can you make this a natural habit for yourself? Let's go step by step, slowly and clearly, so you can actually use this in real life. The first thing you need to do is start listening differently. Most learners listen to English, trying to understand every single word. When they miss one word, they stop and get stuck. But that's not how understanding works. The trick is to keep listening, even if you don't understand everything. When you listen, focus on the main idea. Ask yourself simple questions in your mind like, what's happening here? Are they happy? Are they angry? Are they agreeing or disagreeing? When you think this way, you stop focusing on single words and start understanding the meaning behind them. Let's practice with a short example. Imagine two friends are talking. One says, "So did you hear about the new guy in our class?" And the other replies, "Yeah, he seems pretty cool." Even if you miss the word pretty, you can still understand the idea. They are talking about someone new, and he seems nice. So, your brain should focus on the big picture. That's how natives process language. They look at the whole image, not the puzzle pieces. Now let's make it even more practical. When you listen to English, don't stop the video or audio every time you don't understand. Keep going. Listen again after finishing. The first time, focus on emotion and rhythm. The second time, focus on main ideas. The third time, try to catch small details. This 3-step listening helps your brain slowly adjust to real English without stress. It's like training your ears to hear the music of English before worrying about the words. Next, let's talk about thinking in English. This sounds hard, but it's actually very simple if you do it in small steps. Thinking in English doesn't mean making full sentences in your head all day. It means starting with small, simple thoughts. For example, when you wake up, say in your mind, "I'm hungry," or "It's cold today," or "I have to go to work." You don't need perfect grammar. Just use easy words your brain already knows. This helps your brain stay in English mode. When you do this often, your brain starts connecting English words directly to ideas. You won't translate anymore. For example, when you see an apple, you won't think of the word in your first language first. You'll just think apple. This is how native speakers think. They connect words directly to the world around them. Another great exercise is to describe what you're doing in simple English while doing it. For example, when cooking, think, "I'm cutting the tomato," "I'm boiling water," "I'm adding salt." When walking, think, "I see people," "The weather is nice," "The road is quiet." This kind of self-talk may sound simple, but it's one of the most powerful ways to train your brain to think in English naturally. Now let's talk about a problem that many learners have. They understand slow English, but not fast English. This happens because native speakers link words together and speak with rhythm. The good news is, you can train your ears to catch this rhythm. One of the best ways is by shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a native speaker and repeating what they say at the same time, almost like an echo. You don't need to say it perfectly. Just try to match their speed and rhythm. For example, listen to a short sentence like, "How's it going?" and say it right after. Then, "What are you doing?" becomes, "What you doing?" Try to copy the way the words connect. This helps your mouth and brain get used to natural English flow. You can use short clips from movies, YouTube, or podcasts. Start with just 1 minute a day. Slowly, you'll notice that your listening and speaking start to feel easier. Here's another trick. Listen to the same short video many times. The first time, just relax and enjoy. The second time, focus on understanding. The third time, repeat with the speaker. The fourth time, say it on your own without listening. This way, you train your ears, mouth, and memory all together. That's how you build real listening confidence. Now let's talk about understanding native speed. Native speakers don't always talk fast. They just connect sounds. For example, "Did you eat?" becomes jeet. What are you doing? Becomes what you doing. I don't know becomes I don't know. Once you learn these common sound changes, you'll start catching them everywhere. It's like learning secret shortcuts in English. Try to listen for these shortcuts in shows or real conversations. You'll soon realize that native speech is not impossible. It's just different. Let's do a short listening style practice. I'll say a few sentences in the connected way. Try to understand them as ideas. What you gonna do means, what are you going to do? Give me a sec means, give me a second. Let me think means, let me think. Gotta go means, I have to go. When you know these forms, you suddenly understand a lot more in movies and real life. Now let's move to how natives actually think while talking. They don't plan grammar in their head. They think of a simple idea first, then speak around it. For example, if they want to say they're hungry, they don't think, I need to use the verb to be and the adjective hungry. They just think, I'm hungry. Then words flow automatically. You can do this too by starting small. Pick a topic like food or your day and speak freely for 1 minute. Don't worry about mistakes. Focus on sharing an idea, not speaking perfectly. If you can't find the right word, use another one. For example, if you forget fridge, say cold box. People will still understand. The goal is to keep your brain thinking in English without stopping. The more you practice this, the more automatic it becomes. Let's talk about understanding feelings and tones. Native speakers use tone to show meaning. For example, nice job can mean real praise or sarcasm, depending on how they say it. So when you listen, pay attention to the voice, not just the words. Try to notice if the speaker sounds happy, sad, angry, or relaxed. Understanding emotion helps you follow the real message. You can practice this by watching short videos without subtitles. Try to guess how the people feel, just from their voice and face. Then turn on subtitles and check if you were right. Over time, you'll start understanding emotion, even when words are fast or unclear. That's a big part of how native speakers understand each other so easily. Another great exercise is to listen to conversations and focus on how speakers react. For example, if someone says, "Oh really?" they might be surprised or just pretending to be interested. The words are the same, but the tone changes everything. So always listen to how they say it, not just what they say. Let's also talk about how to guess meaning from context. You don't need to know every word to understand English. For example, if someone says, "I'll grab a bite before class," even if you don't know the phrase, grab a bite, you can guess it means eat something because of the word before class. Context gives you clues. Practice guessing instead of freezing when you hear new words. The more you do this, the smarter your brain becomes at understanding. Another useful trick is to repeat short sentences with emotion. For example, say, "That's amazing," with excitement. Then say, "That's amazing," in a sad way. Feel the difference. English is full of emotion, and natives express it through voice and rhythm. So to sound and understand like them, focus on how it feels, not just how it's said. Let's do a quick mini practice together. I'll give you a few short sentences. Try saying them naturally out loud. "I can't believe it." "Are you serious?" "That's so funny." "No way." "I totally get it." These are all short but powerful phrases that show emotion. You'll hear them a lot in real conversations. The more familiar they sound to you, the easier it will be to follow native talk. Now, let's talk about memory. To understand fast speech, your brain must recognize patterns quickly. So instead of memorizing grammar rules, memorize common phrases. For example, "How's it going?" "Sounds good." "I'm not sure." "Let me check." That's a good point. These are everyday chunks that appear everywhere. When you know them well, your brain doesn't have to think. It just understands instantly. That's exactly how natives think too. You can make a small list of your favorite English chunks and repeat them every day for 5 minutes. Don't just read them, speak them. Feel how they sound. Try using them in real sentences. For example, sounds good, let's do it. Or, I'm not sure about that. These phrases help your English sound more natural, and they make listening easier too, because you start recognizing them instantly. Let's talk about a powerful daily habit. Choose one short English video each day, maybe 1 or 2 minutes long. Watch it without subtitles first. Try to catch the main idea, then watch it again with subtitles. Notice what you missed. Finally, watch it again without subtitles and repeat what you hear. This small habit, done every day, will change your English listening in just a few weeks. Your brain will start to hear English the way native speakers do, naturally, smoothly, and without translation. Another helpful method is to practice with real-life English situations. For example, imagine yourself ordering coffee. Think of what the barista might say. What can I get for you? Would you like sugar? For here or to go? Then, imagine your answers. I'll take a latte, please. No sugar, thanks. To go, please. Doing this helps you prepare your mind for real English conversation. You can do this for many situations. Shopping, meeting a friend, taking a taxi, or going to the doctor. Each time, try to think in English, not in your first language. Now let's talk about mindset. Many learners feel shy or nervous about listening to fast English. They think, I'll never understand like a native. But the truth is, you can. You just need to be patient and consistent. Understanding native English is not about being perfect. It's about training your brain a little every day. Even 5 minutes daily is better than one long study session once a week. Remember, children don't learn English by studying grammar first. They listen, repeat, make mistakes, and slowly understand patterns. You can do the same as an adult. When you hear something new, don't worry if it's hard. Just keep listening. Over time, your brain will start to recognize sounds and meanings automatically. That's how you build true understanding. Now let's imagine a real conversation again. A. Hey, haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? B. Yeah, it's been crazy busy lately. You? A. Same here. Just work, work, work. B. Tell me about it. At first, this might sound fast. But if you focus on the ideas, you'll notice it's simple. Two people are just catching up. Tell me about it just means, I understand. You don't need to analyze every word. You just need to know the emotion and context. So, whenever you listen to English, imagine the situation. What's happening? Who's talking? How do they feel? What's the main message? This is the real secret to understanding native speakers. You think like them, in ideas and emotions, not in translation. Now let's do a short recap. Native speakers think in chunks and ideas, not single words. They listen for emotion, not grammar. They connect sounds smoothly. They focus on understanding and connection, not perfection. To train your brain like theirs, you need to listen daily. Think in simple English. Use shadowing. Repeat common phrases and trust context. Don't stop when you don't understand. Keep going. Your brain learns best when it stays relaxed and curious. And remember, every small step counts. Every time you listen, think, or speak in English, your brain is changing. It's learning new patterns, building new connections, and getting faster. You might not see it right away, but progress is happening every single day. So keep going. Don't worry about mistakes or missing words. Focus on ideas, on emotion, on rhythm. Speak out loud. Listen with your heart, not just your ears. Soon you'll notice that conversations sound clearer, faster, and easier to follow. You're not just learning English. You're learning to think like a native speaker. And that's the real key to fluency. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and remember, every word you hear brings you one step closer to understanding the world in English.